Here's the complete narrative, single long part, no bullet points, fully clean for monetization. Emily never imagined that something as small as an accidental bathroom mishap could stir such deep emotions in her home. She had married Mark 5 years ago, stepping into his life as a partner and as a guiding figure for his son, Jason. Jason had been just entering his teenage years when she first came into their lives, a boy filled with quiet hesitation and cautious glances. It had taken time, patience, and small everyday acts of kindness for Emily to slowly earn his trust. By the time Jason was in college, he and Emily had formed a respectful bond, though it always carried a quiet distance. One rainy Saturday morning, the incident happened. Emily had gone to take a shower, leaving the bathroom door unlocked without much thought. She assumed everyone else was busy, Mark in the garage working on his tools and Jason upstairs finishing homework. But just as she stepped out of the shower to reach for a towel, the door opened. Jason stood there, his face frozen in shock before he quickly shut it again. Emily gasped, quickly pulling the towel around herself, her heart racing not from exposure, but from the awkwardness of the moment. Later that afternoon, Jason avoided eye contact. He seemed embarrassed, retreating into his room with headphones on. Emily debated whether to bring it up, but she decided to let it go, certain it had been an innocent mistake. What she didn't expect was how much the small accident would affect her thoughts. She wasn't angry, but the awkwardness lingered. Would Jason feel uncomfortable around her now? Would this simple accident create unnecessary distance in their fragile bond? That evening, at dinner, the silence spoke louder than words. Jason picked at his food, Mark chatted about work, and Emily forced herself to smile. She didn't want the air to be heavy with unspoken discomfort. Finally, Emily gently broke the silence. "Jason, don't worry about earlier. It was just a mistake. I should have locked the door." Her voice was calm, reassuring. Jason looked up, cheeks flushed, and nodded. "Sorry, Emily. I didn't know you were in there." From that moment, the tension eased. But the incident opened a door Emily hadn't expected, the realization that small accidents in a family can sometimes trigger bigger conversations, about boundaries, about respect, and about the fragility of trust. As days passed, Emily noticed Jason watching her more carefully, not in any inappropriate way, but with a cautiousness that hadn't been there before. He was overly polite, always knocking loudly before entering any room, always making sure she was comfortable. It touched her heart, but it also reminded her of how easily misunderstandings could ripple through relationships. One evening, while folding laundry, Emily thought about her own teenage years. She remembered how every small mistake felt enormous, how embarrassment lingered like a shadow. Jason must have felt the same way now. That thought softened her heart, and she decided to take a more open approach. The following weekend, she invited Jason to join her for a walk in the nearby park. At first, he hesitated, but eventually he agreed. As they walked under the tall oak trees, Emily spoke gently. "Jason, I know things have been a little weird since the bathroom accident. I just want you to know it doesn't change anything between us. You're family, and accidents happen." Jason's shoulders relaxed as he let out a small laugh. "Yeah, I guess I've been overthinking it. I just didn't want you to think I was. I don't know, being weird." Emily smiled warmly. "I never thought that. You've always been respectful. Trust goes both ways, Jason. And I trust you." That simple exchange lifted the weight that had been hanging between them. But the story didn't end there. Over the following weeks, Emily noticed something deeper. Jason had started opening up more, not just to her, but also to his father. He shared more about his classes, his worries about the future, and even his small triumphs. Emily realized that sometimes, accidents, even embarrassing ones, could become unexpected turning points. One night, as Emily sat on the porch sipping tea, Mark joined her. He wrapped his arm around her and sighed. "You've been so good with Jason. I see how much he trusts you. Thank you for that." Emily leaned her head against his shoulder, her heart warmed by his words. "He's a good kid, Mark. He just needed someone to remind him that mistakes don't define him." Months later, the memory of that awkward day had faded, replaced by laughter, shared dinners, and stronger bonds. Jason himself brought it up once, joking lightly, "Remember when I almost gave you a heart attack in the bathroom?" Emily laughed, shaking her head. "Oh, trust me, I remember. But look how far we've come since then." It became one of those family stories that once carried embarrassment but eventually turned into a reminder of growth, understanding, and the strange ways life teaches us lessons. For Emily, the experience reinforced something she had always believed, that trust and forgiveness are the cornerstones of family, and sometimes, the smallest accidents hold the biggest truths. By the end of that year, Emily felt closer to her family than ever before. The bathroom door incident became not a source of shame, but a stepping stone toward stronger relationships. In the end, it wasn't the accident that mattered, it was how they chose to handle it. With kindness, patience, and a willingness to move forward, Emily, Mark, and Jason proved that even the most awkward moments can turn into opportunities for love and growth.